Helloooo Avalor! Welcome back to another episode of The Magic Within, your podcast resource for all things Elena of Avalor. We're coming to you tonight live from our Elena of Avalor Discord server. Woo! Don't forget, if you want to join our server, you are more than welcome to come and fangirl with us about all things Elena, or if you need an emotional support group, we're here for you. All right, so hashtag ElenaGeddon just finished, and can I just say, wow, I can't believe how much action, excitement, and emotion was packed into these, was it 14 episodes?
Yes.
15? I don't remember, I've lost count, like after number 6. So, just real quick, girls, in like a word or two, maybe a sentence, what did you think about the first half of season 3?
OMG.
Right?
I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Of emotions.
Right?
Not unlike Elena, but...
I don't know, we might be.
I haven't done like more ugly crying than I have just this last 2 weeks.
Oh man, right? I think I've watched, especially the Esteban fans, go through the whole like process, like the 5 steps of grief.
We have.
In the last week and a half.
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh at their pain, but...
No, our pain is kind of hilarious.
It actually kind of is. I'm sorry.
Well, it is. We admit that. We go from doing, funny stuff to going to sad stuff and then to silly stuff and then family stuff and then back to silly stuff. It's just insane, okay?
Yeah.
We're just trying to go.
Yeah.
It's a fun process.
It really it's quite a thing to watch. I'm sort of participating, but mostly just watching. Okay, sorry. Now, but anyway, I think it's safe to say that our heads are spinning with excitement and anxiety and everything in between. And I think we can all agree that we wish we could talk about all of the episodes right now, but I think we'd be here for weeks. So
this is very true.
So sit back, strap in, and we're going to tackle these episode reviews one at a time, not in airing order, by the way. I think we're going to focus chronologically on the main plot episodes and then other ones that might be relevant to whatever's going on. But we're really dying to talk about the special and things that happen later. Am I right, girls?
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, so speaking of the girls, joining me tonight is the rest of the squad from literally around the world, your podcast princesses. We have the lovely Lady C.
Hi everyone, it's Chrissy from New Zealand.
The fabulous Lady A.
Hi guys, it's Amelia coming to you from England.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, she has moved over here for a few months. The amazing Lady J.
Hey everyone, it's Jenny from California.
The fantastic Lady G.
Hello, it's Georgia from Greece.
And last but not least, there's me, Lady B. I'm Becky, coming to you from Germany. All right, so let's get started with our discussion on the Elena of Avalor season 3 premiere episode, Sister of Invention. Georgia, take it away.
All right, so season 3 kicks in with the episode Sister of Invention, written by Tom Rogers and directed by Rob Pratt, guest starring Tony Shalhoub as Zopilote, who is most well known for his role as Monk in the TV series of the same name, and Luigi from Cars.
Woo!
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's interesting how many voice actors you have from many other popular Disney franchises or, TV shows. It's great. We have a lot of guest stars this season.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the episode starts off there's like a party going on, and turns out it's Issa's end of college party. So apparently she has finished her classes. Lucky. I'm a little jealous.
Right?
Apparently she's finished the classes she's taking, and that her whole family and friends are all coming together to celebrate, which is really cool. And you can see that they're all having a lot of fun, and she's doing what she does best. She made like a little event stuff. And they're just hanging out and having a good time. So it sounds like fun.
I loved seeing her little catapult, or not, the catapult.
know, right?
They were flinging cookies across the room. That was great.
Amazing.
Something I need in my life.
I think we all do. Just gonna start a new frat type party tradition.
Or if you're having an Elena of Avalor marathon.
I was going to say,
Need
for
those
beer
people.
nights, we could definitely use that.
Yeah. Forget beer pong. We've got cookie catapults. So, in the middle of this really fun party, we see Gabe come in, and he comes and tells Elena, like, "Hey, he'll talk, but only to you." And we can only assume, it's Victor because that's who they have. And sure enough, there he is in the dungeon. And it turns out he's toying with them. Well, I have other words, but he's being a brat. So there's my mom language, okay? He basically just taunts her like, "Hey, I'm not telling you anything." And I really enjoyed seeing Gabe get all like captain of the guard, like serious, and, right? So Gabe comes in, he's like, "She asked you a question. Don't quit playing games. Quit playing games, Delgado." And it was hilarious to see Victor just be like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Throw me in another dungeon?" He kind of has a point. Sentences in Avalor aren't that bad.
We will see about that.
Well, yes, but I mean, like, he's like this like wanted criminal, and he's done a lot of stuff, and technically, he was just as accessory to Shariki as other people, and he's just being stuck in a dungeon unless he's waiting for a sentence. I don't know.
He probably does because they're trying to catch Ass and Carla as well.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah. So maybe they are waiting for the whole group. But anyway,
that's
The entire
really
family. That's cruel in a way.
I have to say that's really neat foreshadowing. Like when you think about it. Sorry, you can totally cut this out after if you want, but that's pretty neat foreshadowing because he's like, "What else are you gonna do?" They did him even worse. They put him in their garden. Oh, okay, but yeah, we'll talk about that in another episode.
That's awesome. And I just also would like to comment on how good Victor's evil laugh is. It's probably the best one in the series. So I'm curious, like, if Victor was just toying with them on purpose about being homeless, like if I'm guessing he is a liar. He's lying. Like nothing that comes out of his mouth is true. So I thought it was really interesting that he was so surprised that they'd found his cabin. That was just a really great, very clever, good cop, bad cop kind of like solution to their problem. Like,
did we even know where their cabin was before this?
we
just kind of.
Yeah.
In Cordoba, I think. We always knew that?
They never said it outright, but we saw in, what was it, Snow Place Like Home, Gabe and all the Jacquins and his guards flew over the bridge into Cordoba. And then, like, we saw that, but they never, like, said, "Hey, this is in Cordoba," so...
Well, I think it was in Naimano's Best, wasn't it, when Gabe came back and they said that they found Victor's cabin in Cordoba? Was that
maybe.
Ben?
You might be right. Good memory. Yeah. But so we have this moment of, "You've told us nothing, but yet you've revealed everything." And so,
amazing.
I love it. It's very classic, really. And Gabe goes to get Naomi, and Issa decides to sneak after them as she's eavesdropping, which I was really impressed with that little invention of hers, by the way. I was trying to figure out if she invented it on the spot or if she makes it a habit of listening at doors.
Listening to her big sister.
I think, yeah, she's probably an eavesdropper. She's a good little sister that way. But I loved the line. Well, basically, I loved how Elena was pointing out how awesome their party is and how awesome their group is. And to me, in my nerd brain, like, it really just was like, Dungeons and Dragons, they have a really awesome party. They have a wizard, a rogue, 2 fighters, and one of them's multi-classed. Yes.
Oh my god.
Such a good party.
Isn't it? Like, that's a strong party. It's about to get stronger.
We're nerds, Becky.
High five.
Yeah.
The rest of us are here like, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
But I believe you.
Thank you.
Good. Take our word.
Yeah, but anyway, so Issa is listening into their conversation, but then, of course, she ends up getting caught. And so it's, like, kind of embarrassing, but she's like, "It's okay." And she just, like, she asks to join their team, but then Elena is, of course, she wants to protect her family, so it makes sense. And she, like, tells Isabel, "No, you're too little," and stuff like that. And honestly, I really feel for Isabel, because I know how it is to be a younger sister and always kind of be, not, like, left out, but just kind of he never get to hang out with the big kids sometimes, and it's kind of frustrating. And so poor Issa, she gets kind of mad, and she like tries to stomp away in a huff, and it's actually more cute than like funny. It is funny, but and then she can't open the door, and so she has to
Can I
go
say I
help
love Gabe?
yeah, she gets all mad at him too, and it just made me laugh because it's so relatable.
Oh.
This seems to be a trend for Gabe. Like the princesses getting mad at him for things that are outside his control.
Gabe.
I love it.
He's trying.
Just leave him alone.
Everyone takes
he
it out on
doesn't-
Gabe.
He doesn't even seem willing to like exclude Issa. He just thinks, yeah, it's safer for her. So
So she stomps away, but she's not done yet. She decides to sneak along for the ride and go anyway. So, can I just ask, does this remind you of anyone going against royal orders to do what she thinks is right? Like, oh, I don't know, her big sister, Elena?
oh
It's like they're related or something.
Right?
Elena only has herself to blame for that.
Right? Like sister, like sister.
I've been setting an example, but...
So then we see Issa sneaking along, and they're getting ready to go on to their adventure. And I just love this part with the classic spy music, like da-da-na-na, da-da-na-na, along with Issa sneaking. That was perfect.
It added to it. It was great.
All right, and so then you see Team Avalor getting into formation, and it's just so cool to see how much they have grown into such a great team. Like, they all have, like, their spots, and they know what they're doing. They have, like, a team plan. They all go together. And
hand signals.
Yeah, basically. They're really advanced in their, like, spy, secret agent type stuff is the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah.
But, of course, some things go wrong, and they don't end up catching Ash right there. And Mateo accidentally freezes Naomi instead, and Naomi lasses Gabe. It's pretty funny. Or did she lasso Gabe or Mateo?
Lassos Mateo.
She lassos Mateo, my bad, sorry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work out too well, but, they kind of get over it. They're like, okay, we'll just do it next time.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
I just love their team up and how far they've come since, like, the first season.
Yeah. I liked Gabe's, like, just, like, nonchalant, like, well, yeah, captured Naomi. Like this happens all the time.
Yeah.
The comedic timing this thing is like top notch. It was amazing the other seasons too, but I think they have upped their game, and that's something we will see in other episodes too, including the filler ones.
Yes, I loved the Amigos dynamic. It was so good.
Yes.
So, enter that cutscene where all of a sudden you hear Elena basically, I don't know, how do you say this in a nice way?
She goes all mommy Lena.
Yeah, that might be better to say. I was going to say something else. But, yeah, she totally mom mode, and she goes, Isabel Castillo. And, yeah.
Gabe's like three names.
Little face like, oh.
That's not good.
That's never good. And, you think it's like, oh my gosh, not really a thing, but that's actually really a thing. Like,
it is a
thing. I need to catch myself yelling all my kids' names.
All right. So, cut to Ass and Carla, who go to Sotep. And that's an interesting part. I really like that cut because, it's related to Ass's name. That was a really fun thing because we don't know Ass's real name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they finally reach the volcano, and that's where they meet Zopilote. Zopilote is Ass's master, is the one who has trained her. And I don't know, but I really imagine Tony Shalhoub being so into this role, being all villainy and even rubbing his hands while he's saying them, because he's kind of an enjoyable. I think he's a really enjoyable new villain. Anyway, so he is her master, and apparently he's also been told a lot of things about Carla while Ash has been training with him, which is interesting. And Ash requires tamboritas from him.
Mm-hmm. And just fun fact, Zopilote means vulture in Spanish. And based on a quick Google search that I did, vultures in ancient Mayan times were regarded as Death Eaters. being that, well, they eat death. And I think that's kind of a symbolic way of saying that they overcome death. Anyway, but it makes sense since vultures are generally scavengers. And so I don't know if that's one of Zopilote's goals or not, though. Also, vultures were regarded as teachers and guardians of ancient knowledge, which I thought also fit Zopilote's character as the dark magic master and teacher. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is.
Yeah. So moving on from there, I really loved how Carla got sassy with Zopilote. It's like, listen up, give me that tamburita. And so, I mean, pretend that we haven't seen it yet. Like, what would be going through your mind when you saw Carla like come up face to face with this like dark magic guy? Would you expect him to get all angry and show power, or like
Yes.
Probably.
like go all Darth Vader on her?
Darkinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, don't disrespect me, child, or something like that. But instead, he's like, he comes across as a doting father.
Yes. She reminds me of you. And he
He's
laughs.
so proud of how evil Ash is. It's really cute and funny at the same time.
All right, and then we cut over to Miss Elena yelling at her sister, which is she didn't do what she wanted. Can I just say that this whole scene, like, I just felt on a personal level.
Amen.
You want them to listen. You're trying to keep them safe, but god darn it, they're not cooperating. So, the only thing missing from that scene was Elena, like, magically holding the chancla in her hand and waving it at Isabel as she's talking to her. That would have made the scene perfect. Total
Relatable.
clear image of my life. Yes. But anyways, Elena's obviously upset, and funnily enough, her friends are all kind of, trying to calm her down with that. And Gabe's actually, I think it's Gabe, right? He's the first one to say, like,
yeah. But
how about we just let her stay?
So nice.
Yeah. God bless Gabe. He's always looking, trying to give people the chance.
Yes.
Unless they're Mateo, but.
Mateo,
I'm going to try to steal his job.
Well, that's just part of their dynamic. But
it is.
yeah, but then, once Gabe says it, everyone starts to get on board. Of course, Elena's not having it. And, ever the voice of reason, we have Mateo here like, well, she's here now.
So what
are we going to really go all the way back there? Or is going to keep going? And, Elena snaps out of it, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say there's a correlation there, but...
Just trying to keep it not shippy.
Sorry. I'll delete it.
I'm just kidding.
We will never be subtle.
We are never subtle.
Whoosh.
I think it's cute and charming by now. They know us. Like, if we're not shippy, our listeners would be disappointed.
I'm saying this is, I'm waving my chancla. You guys know what you're doing when you're putting those scenes in there. Don't act like you don't.
Yeah, Jenny sounds wrong. And so, Zopilote suggests a better alternative to Tamboritas. He actually gives her a puzzle map that leads to the ancient Takaina, the place where all of Maruvian magic is derived. It actually is a pretty cool map. It's like a star-shaped puzzle kind of thing that we will explain in later episodes how it works. But so Ash is really determined to find Takaina now and get all the ancient magic for herself. And that is what leads to...
Cue the music. So I loved this song. Like,
it's
wow.
Great.
This woman can sing. Holy moly. So, really, like, I love a good villain song. I couldn't help but notice some very interesting parallels as Ash was singing and telling her backstory. There's some interesting parallels between Elena and Ash. An evil magic person marched into town, destroyed everything she loved. That happened with Elena with Shariki, and then Ash with Zopilote. We don't know if she lost her parents, but still, took everything from her is what she said. But Elena makes a different choice.
Giving her mice.
What?
Even her mice.
And even her mice. I
What was it about those mice?
I don't know.
Just
Why were they so
special to her.
traumatizing?
I'm telling you, like, I'm calling it right now. The last episode with Ash in it, like, this is all going to be over when Elena gives her some new mice.
Yes, please.
Nice.
Or they come out with a brand new dress like Cinderella.
Here's some new
What a
mice.
pumpkin
Oh. Anyway, I love that contrasting. Elena chooses to combat evil with love for her family, love for her friends, love for her kingdom. Well, Ash, quote unquote, chose to let the evil in. She chose to combat evil with evil. So I think that'll be a really interesting parallel and paradox at the same time to watch throughout this season and their journeys.
Yeah.
So,
That's one of the reasons why I have I think you guys all kind of know my sympathy level for Ash. It's kind of low.
yeah.
Because I feel like, oh my gosh, everything. Really, when you think about it, yeah, she has life going on right now, but she really lost everything.
Mhm.
And, she didn't go up and start freaking blowing up people and doing stuff like that. So
Right, exactly. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm as things that we've seen happen since this episode, because a lot has happened. I don't know how I feel about her. I'm pretty sure it's less sympathetic now.
She's really beautiful, though.
She is beautiful.
And she has that voice, and she's kind of a really cool villain. She has an amazing design, and I really appreciate that. Even if she's a questionably good mom, actually, she's not.
No, she's not a good mom.
Yeah, I'm trying
no
to
doubt
make her
about that.
situation
She's
better, but
horrible.
no.
She's a terrible mom.
all the mamas here agree. She's fired.
She's fired. And she's manipulative. Holy. Yeah. She's
Yeah,
so
we'll see more of that later as well.
Yes, and that's a
Maybe she
conversation.
just didn't have the chance to be a mother. Maybe that's why she doesn't really know.
That's also a good point, though. Yeah, her mothering thing is more of she puts her needs first, and that's her whole deal.
Yes.
That was so clear in the song, or when she went to pick up the tamburito over when Carla fell over. I was just like, "Ooh, what's going on here?"
Foreshadowing.
Yes.
Yes.
She picks the power first.
Over her daughter.
Oh, yes. So speaking
Well, in
of
her mind, it justified.
yes. Oh, absolutely. She's crazy.
And she needs to go down.
Yes.
Sorry, but it's an Azula thing. Yay!
Yes. I think it's interesting that see, now I don't know if I'm crossing episodes or not. But it's kind of revealed that her motivation for wanting all of this power is she's afraid and she's worried about being safe. I'm not sure if that's mentioned in this episode or not, but we see it again later on.
That's true.
So anyway,
It's kind of implied here. She never wants to be hurt again or lose things again. But does she even have anything to lose when she has pushed away her family? Or
exactly.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
But she said,
See, that's a lesson she needs to learn.
Mm-hmm. Being safe, yeah.
Will she?
Will she learn
We'll
it?
see, I
Let's
guess.
tack that on the maybe list, and we'll revisit that
Will Ash
on
learn
our
a lesson?
podcast princess maybe list.
So, speaking of Carla, though, of her daughter, Carla had some really interesting facial expressions throughout this song. What do you guys think Carla's feeling about all of this as she's hearing her mom's story?
I think she was proud at the beginning, but then when Ash sort of, like I said, put the tamburito over her facials changed. Like, what? You're my mom, girl. Pick me up.
I think that throughout the song, she was actually also thinking of Victor and how he wasn't really a priority to Ash.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very apparent in her song and even in the ending of the song, but when the song ended. But it's that she was interested in power, but she'd think that after all these years, family would come first.
Mm-hmm.
That has always been a priority to Carla, even in the earliest episodes of her villainy ways, because she mentions how one of her problems was being alone and having to roam with her dad. It hasn't been that she wants power just to be powerful and fear as much as,
Yeah,
So that's what I think.
absolutely.
Yeah. I almost feel, well, when I was watching, the different expressions on Carla's face, like I almost feel like, okay, Carla's very perceptive too. I don't think she's completely blown away by this image of her mom at this point. I feel like that's she's kind of getting that look at
Over the
her
honeymoon
mom.
stage.
Yeah, like she's kind of getting that idea of who she really is. And I think she's already picked up little tidbits between the dynamics between her mom and her dad. And I think she kind of feels like something's a little off, just by the way Ash puts her own needs in front of her daughters, Carla's or
Exactly.
even Victor's. So I think those little bits are going through her mind during this song, and she's kind of like glad her mom including her. Yeah, she's her daughter. She's totally like, yes, I want to be part of this. I want this relationship with my mom. But at the same time, she knows a lot of it is off. So that's why I feel like those different expressions is just her kind of reasoning with herself whether or not she's going along with this or completely believes everything her saying. When you think about it with the song, I mean, a lot of it is, her on. She only mentions, Carla as an afterthought throughout the song. You never say that. You never really hear her say, "You and me together are going to be the strongest together." It's always me, and then here's you.
Yeah.
You can join me if you want to. I guess it's kind of.
And that is also a foreshadowing that I just realized. You can join me, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Ooh, that's a very good point.
Yeah, this season makes me sad.
Okay, so after the beautiful song, we have the carriage shot. So in the carriage ride to Showtip, Issa admits the flip trip. And poor Mateo, of course, is always at the end of a rope joke. Get it? End of a rope joke. So Elena makes Issa stay in the carriage.
I thought it was funny how Naomi was like, "I'll take one or maybe three." Our rope expert.
When you think about it, it's kind of funny because she's planning on using like 3 on all 3 of her friends.
Yeah.
Because she's probably like, these people are out of control here.
You're probably
I need one for
absolutely
each, please.
Keep them all in line. I thought it was interesting how I know it was just Elena like not even thinking. She was just like, "Okay, we gotta go." But she's like, "Okay, thanks, Issa, for the flip trip," and then she takes her sword instead and leaves the rope behind. So
I know, so sad.
I know.
I thought she did it intentionally at first, and then I realized, oh no, she simply forgot about
It
it.
was like a heat of the moment kind of like, "Oh crap."
Yeah.
So,
Elena's got one going through her mind when she's in battle mode.
it's true.
Yep.
I
That
think
goes
it's also,
a lot through her mind too.
I think it's also symbolic of how she underestimates Issa, not on purpose, not like she's thinking like actively like, "Oh, Issa," but more like she just doesn't think much of the usefulness to the team, Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it also comes from the place of love. Like, she can't imagine her little sister fighting because she's used to being the protector of her family.
Yeah.
I don't think she can imagine anyone in her family fighting. Or
That's true. I think it's a classic mom feeling too. Like, I know,
Yeah.
because like as a mom, it's like, oh, well, they're kids, so they got to stay kids. They don't grow up. Sometimes we don't want them to grow up anyways. And I think
that has a bit of tragedy in it because, with the parents' loss and everything, Elena wants to make sure that Issa will get to be a child and be happy despite everything. And,
and
she
Issa's,
takes the mom role.
Yeah. Issa's like, I'm 13. Hello.
Oh, baby.
All right, so next we have the Cuatro Amigos sneaking in like they are on, what is it? What's that show? Never mind. They're like a SWAT team here. They're just like sneaking in, like hand
The
signals
18.
again. I was gonna say cops, but not really. It's not like cops. Oh, filmed on
Bad
location. I was waiting
boys.
for that to pop
Oh,
up.
goodness.
But they're coming in like ready to take Ash and Carla by surprise. And surprise, look at what Carla's doing. She's just like going to town on like this little rock Elena thing.
The attention to detail was so sweet. The little hair, flowers, and the little snowman like Elena.
And then she
Rockman.
blasted her head off.
It's like bam.
You know what's so funny is that, like, okay, if you were to picture Elena doing that, which she wouldn't, but if you were to or maybe she has, I don't know. If you were to picture her doing it, she'd probably have this like mean-looking monster, and then here we have Carla with this happy-go-lucky little. Like, this is the villainry here, is the fact that she's so dang old happy all the time.
Oh, hi, Elena. Boom.
Oh my god.
I know, it's just, oh god.
Okay, so
I love that scene.
I have to interject here this little funny anecdote. One of my girls has started, like, loved this scene so much. She started coming up to me randomly and be like, "Oh my gosh, Mom!" Hug attack. And then she like
What?
Baby.
That's cute.
like she started doing this, like, it's the funniest thing. She's channeling her inner Carla, but like for good.
Oh my gosh. That's the best thing.
Sorry, back to our regularly scheduled program.
We have the power teams here. We have Elena, Mateo, and Gabe and Naomi that totally take Carla and Ash by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I seriously don't remember who does the first blow.
I believe it's Mateo. He gets Ash, knocks her on her butt.
That's right. How did I not remember that? This is a Mateo thing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He like goes in and throws the bomb.
Oh God, what kind of fan am I? But yeah, basically it's like a mess. Like, you know, I feel like I need to insert that little Kevin Hart meme, like, it's about to go down.
Yes.
But yes, it's like a mess. Everyone's everywhere. Pretty awesome battle scene.
And then, of course, with the battle going on, so the tiny tinker, Miss Isabel, she joins the fray. Issa hears and sees the battle, and she saw that Elena had actually left the foot trip behind. So she decides to go to her sister's aid. However, just like her big sister Issa, no means Issa, yes. AKA Elena, no, Elena, yes. So the battle is fierce. The spells flying everywhere. Mateo, Elena, Gabe a sword, Nyman and his rope. It's crazy up in here.
And it all goes downhill so fast. Isa trips Carla, who trips her back. Isa trips Mateo, sending a spell at Elena. And it's all like a domino effect. And in the end, just Carla and Ash get away.
I just have to say that I'm super impressed that Mateo, like, as the soul magic user, like, can kind of hold his own and protect his friends for the most part against two evil wizards. That's just pretty cool.
Right. And Zopilote wasn't even there. Like, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really impressive. Actually, all of them were impressive. Even Naomi, who doesn't have any combat skills, managed to save Gabe at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It's brief, but it's there. And yeah.
I think, like, Gabe pulls her behind a rock, and then later on she, like, dives and, you know, covers him, and it's good teamwork. Like, it's an equal, like, they both protect each other. It's a really cool, like, dynamic.
Exactly. And I just have to say that that already gives you a piece of the action that will follow in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. You can see the timing of the action and, you know, how complicated it can be. And it's great. They have really upped their game this season.
Yeah.
Gosh, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think it could, but it's just like, oh my goodness.
Take it up a notch, yeah. And the storyboarders,
really
whoever it is that
right.
choreographs these battles, wow.
Yes.
It had us on our toes.
Yeah.
I know, right?
May I just say, whoever decided to put Elena and Mateo behind that rock, I'm winking at you. Thanks.
We all are.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh my god. I love that.
I was trying to be casual, but
Really aren't.
I'm not going to call you out.
I called myself out, I think.
You know what? I would call you out because you have called me out multiple times the past 3 days over Esteban. So,
Don't get me. I swear I'm gonna get my sprinkler hose right here.
Spray the
Not
Estefan.
sprinkler hose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spray
But
you guys
like,
all back to
I'm
the
gonna
red
tell you
system.
how as well.
All right. So, anyways, okay. So, as we said, in the midst of all this action, poor Elena gets hit, and she gets flung across. Oh my gosh, she gets flung across. Sorry.
Ow! She does meow.
She is trying to like take care of her business, and then okay, she gets flung across the gorge here, and ends up inside and like hanging on a rock. Poor girl, like she's just trying to get this stuff done. Like, can it like finally go her way? Yeah. So, new mission is Operation Rescue the Princess. So it's up to Isabel to find out a solution here. Okay, because we know it's an Isabel episode, so she's got to find the solution.
Yes.
She is the sister of Invention.
And none of the amigos like are equipped to come in and rescue, like figure out a solution themselves. Naomi's rope isn't long enough. Gabe can't do nothing with a sword. And Mateo's tambourita got broken.
Yes.
Which made us all
I think
cry.
that's the greatest loss.
That rest in peace, Tamburita, or so we thought.
Rip.
We're already like having vigils over here and everything.
Crystal Tamburita.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? I was already lighting candles over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor Mateo, man, he's all stressed out. His tambourine broken. Everything's a mess. Elena's hanging off a rock. Can you see the stress on that poor boy's face? Like,
Oh.
he's gonna
He
like
fell to
have a
his knees
stroke.
screaming Elena. So there was like,
I mean, everyone's concerned, don't get me wrong, but they're just kind of like, oh no. And here's the
yeah. Oh, poor Mateo.
when allowed to, Isabel's actually a pretty efficient team member. Because she not only assesses the situation, unlike some because tambouritas are broken, she actually comes up with a plan to, God, what did she call it?
I remember, I think Naomi said, call it Fred for all I care.
Gabe called it a catapult. She said, well, technically it's a lever. Naomi's like,
I love it.
She tried.
Yeah, catapult. But yes, she comes up with the idea to, put the rope on the rock and fling it across there so that way Elena can catch it.
3, 2, 1, go!
yeah, that was great. But they're successful and they rescue her, and really
By
sweet.
the skin of their teeth, my
Liter-
gosh, my heart was in my throat. I was just like,
Oh
no!
Yeah, and the number
I'm
of times
like,
she
why did they do
almost
this?
ate the lava, like.
It
So there's
did some awesome lighting though.
Yeah. And can I just, I'd also like to point out that I am glad to see that Gabe's throwing arm is still like a cannon.
Like a cannon.
Dragon
The most
Slayer.
important part.
So also I'm a little surprised that Elena didn't dislocate her shoulder after that. Apparently cartoon people can take a much more of a beating than the rest of us.
Yeah,
After
absolutely.
watching this half of season 3, I'm pretty sure you're right.
You are right.
People getting
Okay, can I interrupt to say that, guys, Amelia and I, when we were watching The Magic Within, and Mateo fell into the rock, and the rock broke, we were like, oh my god, he's dead! Because that was insane! She
And he
had
got up and
broken
he dusted himself off.
He's like, I'm done on it, baby.
Was still able to give us more shippy moments. How about that?
Oh my god.
The VIP.
Oh my goodness, yes. So once everyone like, okay, we're relieved, a good sister hug, and
Relieved.
Elena
Ow.
and yes, and Elena and Issa have their little moment, and Elena like tells her like, yeah, you can't do what we can do, but we can't do what you
We
do
can't
either.
do it, yeah.
Yes. And Team Avalor version 2.0 is born. Everyone points out how awesome she is, and Elena lets her join the team with the stipulation that she is grounded for a week. For disobeying.
Of course.
Just got off lucky. I would have gotten.
Indeed. So,
Louisa when she gets back.
I know.
yeah. So I thought it was really interesting the difference between season 1 perception of Isabel and season 3 perception as far as Elena and her friends' perspective, specifically in Blockheads. What do you guys think? Did you guys notice the change in how they feel about her? Like,
Yeah,
It was sort of like started off the same where she was just like, oh, she's too little. Like, we don't want her on the Oval team and we don't really want her to come to this mission. However, the ending was exactly the same where it was, okay, maybe she is valuable, so we should let her do it.
I feel like this time, though, it was just Elena didn't want her to come, and that was only because she wanted to keep her safe. And when Isabel wasn't like capable, whereas the rest of the amigos, they were like, "Oh no, yeah, she can come along. We have no problem with that." Whereas in Blockheads, everyone was kind of like,
exactly.
we don't really want her tagging along.
Yeah. In Blockhead, she was the little sister. And this time I thought Gabe, Naomi specifically were like, especially Naomi was like, oh, you have good attention to detail. You should totally come.
Yeah.
So I thought they saw her as a potential asset more so than before. I don't know. But now
And see, I feel like they treated not so much that she was annoying, but they were much more dismissive of her because she was young. You know,
yes.
Sure, play with us. Yeah. I mean, it was just kind of neglect.
This is true. So Issa joins the team, and then we see this really awesome exit shot where they're all running as a team to go and plan to bite the Malvagos. So, awesome episode. I'm sure we all have our favorite parts. Let's start with Lady C.
Oh my gosh, how can I actually choose? And oh my gosh, what an episode this was. I definitely have to say that battle scene, like how stunning was that teamwork, and those spells were bigger and better than the last season. If this was the beginning, I cannot wait what hashtag Team Avalor has got in store for us.
All right. So for me, my favorite part of the episode is we all kind of agree, like the whole teamwork and that battle's amazing. But honestly, the part that I really loved seeing Elena go, I just thought it was funny. Just seeing her yell at the and then Gabe's little comment like, "Oh, 3 names. That's never good." Like, I just
Gabe
felt
must
that
know.
personally. I love that. That was my favorite
That's
part.
awesome.
The dynamics really shine through, it's true.
Okay, so for me, I think just my favorite part was seeing Isabel interact with Elena and all her friends again, because Isabel's one of my favorite characters, and I love being able to see her like live up to her full potential and just use her science and like all her smarts and stuff to be able to save the day sometimes. And I just love also seeing how like all the characters are just like growing and maturing as like the seasons progress, and I just really love the character development. And I just felt like it was a good way to start off the season, and it was really good.
Well, you basically mentioned my favorite part, how cool dynamic about the Amigas works. But I have to say that I really love the song. I love the performance by Grey Delisle. I don't know, it's just so good. Maybe how can I put this in the right way? See, they established as a villain finally, because so far since we saw her in Snowplace Like Home, Ash has been like Carla's mother and Victor's wife, kinda, but now she's been established as her very own villain. This is her own threat. Like, yes, I'm gonna do this and that, and it's always being done well through a song. And also, we have so many jokes about her hip wiggle in the end of the song in the server. It's kind of funny. It was a great musical number. I liked it. I'm always a sucker for villain song.
Yeah, I too was a huge fan of the battle and the song. I think they were both just really good. But the battle was just so fast-paced, and you could see Team Avalor really working together. And I loved seeing Issa on the team. I loved seeing them work together to save Elena. And yeah, it was just really good.
All right. Thank you, Podcast Princesses, for being so awesome. We really can't wait to show you what we got in store. So thank you to all our listeners for all over the world. You guys are amazing. We can't wait for you to join us next time. And do not forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram in between episodes for more discussions, fun games, and resources you don't want to miss. Your feedback is also greatly appreciated. Until next time, wings up, amigos! Bye!
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.